From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Hi, Tom, once again for The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Mac's at my bar, of course, brought to our good friends at Foodies Care. It's Biz Champions time. That means Major Harding is back, and he's here at the bar. And we've got a great panel lined up for you this time around. We're going to talk a lot about leadership in business and in life. Let's welcome in this fantastic panel. We'll start with La'Tina Willis, Born to Excel. How are you, La'Tina? Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Tell us about Born to Excel, if you would, please.
So Born to Excel is a nonprofit that I started years ago. And it started just as, you know, being a single mom and seeing my struggles and being divorced, knowing that I couldn't have been the only one going through it.
Sure.
And it started just as, you know, reaching out to children and families. After graduating, I went on to be a case manager, child welfare case manager, and really seeing what's in the community.
Yep.
And so then I knew it was more that had to be done. So I wrote a book based on that. I see our youth go through what we went through when we were younger.
Cool.
And I based it on 7 daily declarations for them because I saw everything for us, but nothing for the kids. And so in tying it into my business, you know, we talk about the different areas, characteristics, just, you know, I teach them leadership. We talk about how, you know, communication, and we're raising leaders and not bullies.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're dealing, because that's a really big thing now,
Yep.
you know, the bullying and just not getting along and communicating, bridging that gap between the children and the older adults.
Absolutely.
Bringing back that respect and the love,
Yep.
you know, and understanding that, you know, even we're paving the way for them because they're our future everything.
Absolutely. No doubt. What's the title of your book?
It's 7 days of daily declarations, and
Okay.
it deals with 7 areas that they deal with. You know, respect, self-love. You know, we go through self-awareness, accountability,
Good.
responsibility.
Yes.
You know, the parent-child relationship, and I tell them, you know, if you don't learn, if your parents are put here to teach you.
Yep.
So if you can't mind them, then how are you gonna respect God as you get older and get that relationship?
That's right.
And even as you go to school, you know, we send them to school to learn and not to disrupt. So
Yep.
education is very important.
Yeah.
So I just deal with areas that they deal with, you know, in life. Like I started with my children, I had them on their mirror. They had to read them every morning.
Good.
And so then I create a book. So I created a book, and I share my life with them, you know, as a child, to say that we understand that, you
That's
know,
right.
when we adults come in and say we love you, we really do. You know, that we care, we really care.
Yep.
And to say this is what I went through, so when we say we understand, we really do, because we've
That's
been
right.
through what you're going through.
Great. Keep up the great work. That's
Thank
awesome. I
you.
love people that are helping out in the community.
Thank
Great to have you on the show. Priscilla Berry's here from Berry and Associates. How are you? Talking more leadership. You got your notes. I love it. You're
have
prepared.
notes.
Well, you are a professor, so
Right,
that
right.
makes sense. That
And
makes a
I
lot of
love
sense.
what our first guest said about children, because
Yep.
children are not just our future, they're our present. They're the energy that we have to channel. So that we have leaders going forward. It starts with children. It's early on, early imprinting that makes a difference.
That inner accountability, though, that to me is like number one. We all have to have that.
Absolutely.
Young world,
And it
you know.
comes from your culture, you know, how that early imprinting is just so vital and important.
No doubt.
Yeah, I do a lot of work with, say, small to mid-cap corporations. I do a lot of vetting of employees, because we used to say we want to find the right, you know, person for the job, and now we know we want to find the right job for the person, because if they're not in the right place, it's going to be burnout for sure. And so I do a lot of that kind of consulting, and I enjoy it. I work with clients also to help them grow and mature and find their purpose.
Yep.
Because if somebody says, well, what is your purpose? Oh, I'm a doctor, a lawyer, engineer. No. What is your purpose? Because purpose goes beyond. That's a path. You're going to be a football player. That's your path. But what is your purpose? And so that's about an inward journey, and any kind of personal or professional growth starts from the inside.
No doubt.
And so it's knowing yourself, knowing who you are, liking who you are, and then trusting who you are.
Yep.
So before I begin, and I really am a devotee of the Myers-Briggs type indicator. I love that because it tells you so much, tells you about yourself.
Yeah.
And then it also tells you about the people around you. Because see, part of the problem is communication. Always. If there's a problem, I can tell you 99% of it is the result of a failure of communication and misunderstanding. And I used to do an experiment when I was teaching at the University of Florida. I was in the Huff Graduate School, a beautiful building, and we'd look out on a panorama of the campus. And I would tell the students, I would say, I want everybody to look out the window and pick one thing that you see. And then I would have them turn around and I'd go around the room. What did you see? What did you see? What did you see? And somebody would see a butterfly, somebody would see a squirrel, somebody would see a fire hydrant that was about to overflow. Somebody else would see a shingle on a roof that was going to be a problem, and around the room. And so we have 20 students, and they all see different things. And yet we look out of the window and we think we see the same thing. Okay.
Right. No, absolutely.
So that is a beginning to know that we don't, to be able to communicate, we have to get on the same page.
Absolutely.
And talk the same language.
Yeah, don't be afraid to speak your mind and don't be afraid to communicate. You gotta communicate.
Absolutely.
I'm a father of 3 daughters. I tell them all the time, speak your mind. You're allowed to speak your opinion. I'm your backup, so you're good. Like, speak your mind. It's okay. That's what you're.
Well, that's good that you're giving young women that kind of confidence.
Yes.
Great to have you on the show. Really appreciate it.
I love it. And the work that you are doing has a lot of ramifications, so thank you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Alex Vohr is here from 1LNG. Thank you for your service, first and foremost. Sure. Tell us about Speed Kills, your book right here, and LNG.
Well, so 1LNG is a startup. We're Houston-based, and we're going to focus on it. It's an asset-based business where we're going to develop small-scale liquefaction for the domestic market for liquefying natural gas. And when you liquefy natural gas, you take pipeline gas, you cool it to minus 267 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you can put it in a truck and take it to places where they don't have access to pipelines. And so in today's world, everybody hears about what's going on with data centers, and so there's increasing demand for energy, and you can use liquid natural gas to help generate energy. And so we're awfully optimistic about this market. And as I said, we're a startup, and we're really pretty excited about all that.
So a good friend of mine's in the propane space, and he's in natural gas as well, because he always said, and this was years, he's like, that's we always need that, or it's coming up, or whatever the case may be.
Propane is an element of what comes up out of the well when you have gas come up out of a well, and then you break it into its component parts. Liquefied natural gas is methane, pure methane.
Right, okay. Wow, unbelievable.
And then the book, it's interesting what Priscilla was saying about how everybody looks at the world in a different way, because the book is titled Speed Kills. I got the title from General Mattis at the end of 2003, or in 2003, when he was reflecting on what worked going to Baghdad. And it was moving very fast and not allowing the enemy to get organized in front of him. But the book's about John Boyd's OODA loop, which is observe, orient, decide, act. And that orientation is how you look at the world, which is what Priscilla was talking about. And how people look at the world and make sense of the information and the data that they have coming in makes all the difference. And it's interesting. You can go back to a biblical reference in the Tower of Babel. When God made everybody speak in multiple different languages, it's so they couldn't communicate, and so they couldn't share ideas, and they couldn't share a common understanding of how to build that tower, which is an affront to God. So that's what orientation and the OODA loop, that's a big piece of it. So that's what this book is about. I try to operationalize a theoretical model here to make it useful for organizations and people to think about how to apply it.
How about the generation, Alex, that's grown up on like TikTok and you know what I mean? They see the world probably a lot different than others.
They most certainly do, and one of the things that worries me about that, and then concerns me about artificial intelligence as well as it has the potential to make people, I would suggest, intellectually lazy.
Correct.
I think that's coming.
Well, the texting has taken over for communication.
It has
for a lot of people.
That's absolutely right.
Put the phone down, go to the person, at least call them.
Yes.
But people are afraid to even do that. They're like, no, I'll just text. It'll be easier to text.
That's right. And so trying to come to a common worldview when you're texting and you're not talking and you don't understand people look eye to eye. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Great to have you in the show, man. Keep us great. Go
Appreciate
ahead.
it.
What do you
Well,
want
to your point,
jump right in.
nonverbal communication is more powerful than what we say.
Yeah.
And people are reading our bodies all the time.
That's right.
And so what, if we don't have that contact, that human connection, we are not going to be able to communicate
Plus,
effectively.
you never know tone on text. You never know the tone.
You don't know
Right.
tone.
Like you could read it 10 different ways.
But
you know?
see,
Everyone
you
will
just
be like, oh, that's
see
this,
how you're talking with your hands.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't using words, I'd know what your emotion was.
Right, yeah,
okay?
sure. Yeah,
and
makes sense.
when we lose that, we're going to lose real connectivity.
And that's what I was thinking with the, if you're texting, it can come off wrong. That's
Absolutely.
not
That's
real
right.
communication.
No doubt.
Yep.
No doubt
And that's
about
where
it.
it comes in. You misread
Right.
it. You know,
Yep.
that's not good at all.
I love it. I love it. Adam Jackson's here with FMR Leadership
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Solutions. Going to say hi to my man Major. Welcome back, Major, and happy birthday to you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Happy
How was
birthday!
Oh, happy
Great time.
Costa Rica was amazing.
Just fed a lot
Came
of
back
families.
for a week and then went on a birthday cruise.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah.
It's all
for
good.
you. Oh, good for you. All right,
Back to
Adam,
reality.
tell us about it. First of all, thank you for your service as
appreciate
well.
it. Thank you.
And tell us about FMR Leadership Solutions.
So FMR Leadership Solutions, we're a second-year startup, so going through it.
Yep.
We have some success out in the Midwest, developing leaders and helping provide leadership system like solutions. So what we found, military experience is that leaders are successful in a system that supports that leadership.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the military, the strategic corporal example we talk about, that only works if risk and decision-making authority and accountability is placed at that level. And that is a systemic alignment that happens in leadership. And what we try to do is bring the same kind of idea to companies, because you can have lots of words on wall in a company, but if what the CEO or president is saying doesn't back
align.
up what that frontline supervisor
Yep.
is doing,
Right.
then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it's all about creating systems to support that, and that goes across every function of an organization. So we talk, help organizations align, and what we found, and it gets. I like how we build across the table here.
Yeah.
We have aligned systems that are working. And you have aligned systems. You have a resilient organization, and you can go fast straight.
Yep.
But what kills organizations is turning quickly, because you can come off the rails. So if you build systems inside and you have leadership,
Yep.
supporting leadership inside, you can create organizations that can rapidly adjust to emerging situations
Yep.
and not come off the tracks. So we help organizations
yeah.
do that, and we also provide leader training.
So let me ask you this. So, because the tagline of this show is sports is business is life, right? It's all the same kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's a game.
I always feel like the most, and I'll just use NFL as an example, the most successful organizations have the right leadership, but they also have the right people that accept that leadership. Some guys you could be, like I played for Tom Coughlin, he was a hard ass. Most of the guys he was a GM too, so he knew what he wanted. They could handle it because they maybe grew up with it like I did, or maybe that's just the way they've always been coached, so it's not a problem. Other guys, I can't function in that type of environment. You know what I mean? So you got to fill that room with employees or players or whatever that will thrive off that leadership.
Yes.
Do you believe in that?
Yes,
Yes.
I think, and if I can interrupt here, I think leaders establish the goal, the direction the company is going. I think they establish the culture, which is what you're talking about,
Yep.
and some people can fit in that culture and others can't. And then leaders make decisions and make things happen every day. Those are
Right.
kind of the three functions of
Right.
leadership.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
culture comes from the top.
Yeah,
Culture
sure.
comes
Oh,
from the
no doubt.
top.
Yeah, all the way.
And that's why leadership is so relevant to decision making and progress of any
Well,
company.
Culture,
We talked about types of businesses. How are you successful? My people. Like, how do you duplicate all these restaurants? I got great management. I got great people.
Right.
They do it, we duplicate it. They know exactly
Team
the way
building.
it's supposed to
You
go.
got to build a team.
Yeah.
And you
May
got
I-
to charge them to go
No doubt.
perform the task.
May I say?
Yeah, real quick.
And then that's why it's important as a leader, you're not as great as your team, and that's why it's important to build communication.
No
It's
doubt.
important to build relationship, positive relationship, and be sensitive and considerate of them. And as you're building that, they'll trust you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And that's
no doubt.
important, that
Yeah.
trust.
Absolutely.
And they'll
Yeah.
trust your leadership and your decisions.
Okay, I got to wrap it up. I'm sure we could go on forever. This has been great. By the way, when we first created the show, this is how we always want the show to go. People just chiming in, feeling comfortable. So thanks for making it happen. God bless all you. Keep up the great
God
work.
bless
Make
you.
sure you check out their profiles, this conversation, and thousands of others right here from Tommy Mac. Go to the Tommy Mac's. Go to the Daily News Network. website, and you'll see it all right there. So until next time, stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm good.